She's one of our best friends in the world. Camille Davis is in the house. What's up, Camille?
Oh, how is it going?
There we go.
We are good. How are you?
Yeah, you just had to sit there and listen to our little nonsense for a few moments.
I was just vibing. I was listening. I was like, okay, I'm learning something today. That's what you tune in for. You never know what you're gonna get.
That's right. That's right.
Camille, how's everything going? Haven't talked to you in a little bit. Bucks got a win yesterday. Are we feeling optimistic about this team, or is this still kind of one of those they'll get lucky if they get in that play-in game type of deal?
The Bucks have had a few times throughout the season where I've been like, hey, you showed me something really good in this game. Let's see if you can stack it. And the stacking has not come. That's all I want at this point. I hope that this is the spark that finally gets it going. But the Bucks haven't had an actual win streak all season. The Bucks have not won at least 3 games in a row all season. I need to see them stack it. So once I see that, then I'll start to have a little bit more buying on the potential of this team. But until they can show that consistency, I just got to see it.
Yeah. And where do you think that comes from? Who needs to be kind of called out that needs to take that step to lead this that way? Obviously, Giannis, let's just put Giannis aside. Obviously, he's the leader of this group. But what are the other pieces that need to kind of take that next step to get this team going in the right direction?
I think it's a full accountability from everybody. One thing I did like in the Atlanta game that we saw Doc Rivers do was change up the lineup, putting Kevin Porter Jr. on the bench, moving Kyle Kuzma to the starting lineup, and giving Pete Nance some minutes here just to see what he had. He provided a really big spark with the pace that he played with off of the bench for this team. I liked having Kyle Kuzma in the starting lineup because the problem with the Bucks so far this season is they've just been too small at times, right? They've been too small. AJ Green's been playing out of position. Gary Trent Jr. has been playing out of position, and it has just been causing some chaos, especially when it comes to crashing the glass. So going with the bigger player, I like that move and in theory, and the Bucks are working with what they have right now. So I also like Kevin Porter Jr. come off the bench and kind of having that freedom to have more of that green light and kind of just be a little bit more ISO at times, create his own shot, but still playing the concept of team ball. So I like that move, but it's on everyone. This team knows what they need to do. They talk about it every time after a loss. You can play the same audio after every single game because it's the same thing. They know what happened. The ball stopped moving, too ISO heavy, stopped playing together. Point of attack defense started lacking, too many turnovers, didn't cry. It's always the same concept. So they know what they need to do. They just got to do it consistently. So it's on everyone on that team to wear that, from the coaching to the players to the GM.
Man, I love how you break this stuff down.
She's the best.
I'm I don't know if I have another question about
feel so much smarter right now.
But I do want to ask about Giannis and his future and some of the stuff here as they lost some games. He was a little upset at home, and what are you feeling from Giannis? Do you feel like he is settling back in after injury and different things? Is he in a good place, or is he kind of trying to search a little bit for what this is going to look like?
Yeah, well, he's still searching to a degree because he's still on a minutes restriction at the moment, which is driving him crazy. The team does still not want him to really cross over that 30-minute mark per game. So he has to sit a lot of times where he wants to get out there and play. So that's part of it. But ultimately, I think Giannis has just been finding his footing coming back from the injury. He has been pointed about wanting the ball in his hands a bit more. And I also do think that move of Kevin Porter Jr. to the bench allows for that a little bit more. KPJ was still someone who was in the game in closing minutes. So it's not always about how you start. It's about how you finish. And he's going to still be very important to what the Bucks look to do because he's only one of a handful of players who can actually consistently drive, touch paint, kick out, or create for himself at the rim. And that's a skill set the Bucks need. But I think just being able to get the ball in Giannis's hands a bit more, let him create, let him make the decisions and get shooters open is going to be really, really big for him. So all that to say, I still think he's finding the rhythm because this team's gone through the iteration of Giannis and Rollins with no Kevin Porter Jr., then no Giannis, but Kevin Porter Jr. and Rollins, and now all three of them trying to figure it out. So I think it's still a growing pains there, but I think they're starting to understand what needs to be done consistently. It's just on them to do it.
For sure. For sure.
Camille Davis joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. I want to ask about Miles Turner because I know that the experiment continues to fail.
Yeah.
And he's, again, he'll have some good games. He'll have some, even yesterday, like in the first quarter, he had, I don't know, he hit a 3 and he had 5 rebounds in the first quarter. And it's like, wow, he's being active. But I know that in the rankings of block per minute, he's gone from like he was 3rd a couple weeks ago. He's down to 10th in the league. Like, what do they need to still figure out to get him comfortable, both offensively and defensively, on this team?
That's a great question. I think Miles is somebody whose game has been affected the most with Giannis in and out of the lineup. When Miles gets to play next to Giannis, he does look better. Like it makes a lot more sense when you see the two of them play together. Now, one might question, like, well, hey, isn't part of the benefit of having a Miles Turner is that if Giannis isn't there, you can count on him to pull a little bit more weight. And I think that's a fair critique to have of his game. And there are certain times within the game where it's like, just need a little bit more. And Miles in all of his pressers seems to be the first one to hold himself accountable for that of, I need to play better, more consistently. I know what I'm here to do. I got to rebound. I got to make sure I'm playing defense. I have to do that at a consistent level. But I also think that at times the coaching staff hasn't utilized him to his full potential, especially offensively. Like before the season started, we heard a lot about his ability to make from the elbows and get touches in the elbows and operate out of that area. And you haven't really seen a lot of that from him. Like to start the season, you heard Doc saying he's a popper and not really letting him roll, but he's also effective on the roll. He has been doing that more frequently as the season has gone on, but it's a part of his game that I feel like was nerfed out a little bit too much corner sitting at times for Miles Turner. So I think there are still more ways to continue to get him utilized in the offense a bit more. And defensively, when it comes to just the rebounding and being there in that presence, he has to also just play a little bit better there. But I do think it looks better overall when he's sharing the court with Giannis. The two of them do play well together.
I like that. What's the fan engagement? Like I haven't been to a game yet this year. Like what is everybody, feeling there in Fiserv Forum? Like is the energy still high? I mean, is there still hope for this team to make a little run here at the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is Milwaukee keeps it real. Like when they were booing the Bucks a couple of days ago, last week, time is a slow circle at this point. But when they were getting booed at Fiserv, like I was like, I get it. Like you're paying your money to come see a product. All you really ask for in Milwaukee, like at least give us the effort. Like at least give us the effort. If you give us that and we lose, we're gonna be upset that we caught an L, but we can take that. But like no effort, poor execution consistently, like fans aren't going to stand for that. And that was just like a blip in the frustration because outside of that, it's been a Bucks team that while the energy has been inconsistent at times, it's been better than what you saw during that Wolves game when they were getting booed at home. So I think there's still a sense of hope too, because the Bucks are 11th, but they're only a few games still out of being out of the play-in completely. Like they could jump to 6 in a few games, but they haven't shown us the ability to put together a win streak all season. So it's hard to also have the belief that they can do it, but you see the numbers and you're like, you're still close. You have the talent. Like if you can just figure this out, there's a pathway forward. So I think the vibes are still like, we know this team can do it, but they got to stop playing around.
What did you think of Giannis's reaction to that, to the booing? And like, we have the receipts from 2 years ago when he said, "Oh, I would have booed too." And then he took it super personal, like in a way that was honestly was like very off-putting and very, I want to say like not who Giannis has been previously in Milwaukee. Made a lot of Giannis fans kind of question where his mindset and where his priorities are.
I just think that losing is frustrating. A couple years ago when the Bucks got booed during that Jazz game, the Bucks still had a winning record. They were just going through a little slump at the time. Like they weren't a lottery team looking up. Like they were still firmly in the playoff race at the time. They were just playing bad basketball. And he knew for championship aspirations, it has to be better. A few years ago, I was like, I get it. I'd boo too because I know where we have to be. This year, you're a lottery team right now. It's frustrating. You've been injured. It's just a lot of different frustration. So the boos can feel a little bit different, depending on where you are in the standings. That's how I took his comment. So I didn't really take too much offense to it. It was kind of like, I get it. It's frustrating to be losing right now, but like, understand the boos weren't directed at you. They weren't directed at any particular player. It's just it was a frustration. Like, the fans didn't have anything to cheer for, and they want something to cheer for. Like, just give the fans something to cheer for, and they're going to be here for you. Like, I fully expect Fiserv to be packed Wednesday night for this game against the Thunder. Like, I think
late tip. I got tickets, Camille, to this one. That's a late 8:30, man. That's past my bedtime. Start the game.
Come on, old man. Let's go.
I'll be there. But I was surprised that Giannis didn't get that he didn't understand that the team was being booed, the effort was being booed, that it wasn't directed at him. He made it sound very personal. Like he thought people were booing him specifically for missing those 2 free throws at the end of the half, when that wasn't the case at all. And I'm just like shocked. He was I thought he was smarter than that.
It could also just be fuel. Like, just that's how he's taken the season. He's been saying how this season he's going in with the villain route. It could just be how he is wired this season going into it, with the Bane 3-point celebration and all of the things like that. Like, that could be part of it too, of like, I don't care where it's coming from. I'm going to use this to motivate me because we're not where we want to be, so on and so forth. We know how a lot of times athletes can put those things on their shoulders to get just that little extra motivation at times.
I love it. Yeah. Us against the world type of mentality.
Yeah.
It can be a motivator for sure in a short time. But it's one of those where it can get you over like a hump, and then you got to build off of that. Right. I do want to, you said some words that I love: energy and effort. And so I do want to pivot to some of the things we've been talking about on the Packers side of things. Mm-hmm. I know obviously you get on Pack-A-Day and you dive into that as well. What do you think? Jeff Hafley going to Miami.
Yeah.
We've been talking about who's going to replace him, who we don't want to replace him. What's your take? What's your thought on who could be potential defensive coordinators coming in here for this Packers team?
Woo, Jeff Hafley is going to be a tough one to replace. That's a real tough one. He's like the first real coach to come off the LaFleur coaching tree at this moment, where it's like that's a head coach coming straight off a coordinator job here in Green Bay. So it's going to be tough to fill. There have been a lot of different names thrown out, and I'm more so looking for a type. As long as they fit this personality type, this type of coach, then I am going to be here for it. And it's the adjuster. It is somebody who might have an idea in their mind of what they want to do, but they're not going to force it if they don't have the pieces. It is somebody who can be strategic in a way with the defense, especially when you have a Micah Parsons, where you can get pretty creative for whatever the game plan might call for. So as long as the coach can do those things, I don't really care what the package they come in looks like.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we were talking, we want somebody that maybe isn't a nice guy, is kind of a little bit of a, fire starter, and is going to, kind of ruffle some feathers a little bit and get an edge back, right? An edge to this defense that is, just going to be tough to deal with. The coach that, kind of throws stuff out there that makes, people a little uncomfortable at times. I know Green Bay, that's not always their way, but it might not be a bad time, especially with how these last couple of years have ended, especially this year, to have a piece like that on your staff that will take some of that and deflect some of those things from the players and let them just kind of do their work and do their job.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've been throwing out names like Al Harris, Jim Leonard. I'm a big proponent for Al Harris and like getting some former players back in that building to just kind of bring that legacy piece back into the organization. Do you like any of that? Any of those names?
All season watching Al Harris in Chicago has been like, man, this just don't even feel right. Like,
it doesn't feel right. Get him back home. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, he has flashed a lot. Like, that is somebody who I'd be on board with as well, especially too, because he gives a new energy. Like, it's not a retread in a way too, which I think that energy is important to continue to go forward, where you're trying to continue to innovate on that side of the ball and not necessarily lean on principles all the time.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hey, y'all got anything else?
Did you want Matt LaFleur fired?
Oh, I like that.
Like, let's
There you
just
go,
rip
Tommy.
the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Like, if they're gonna be all quiet about this, Camille, and then like, oh no, let's throw an extension at him in the middle of an awesome football game.
Yeah.
What did you think about how the Green Bay Packers handled the head coaching situation at the end of the year?
I was on board of bringing Matt LaFleur back, but I was more so on the idea of the prove it deal. Like I wanted it to be something short of like, we know we don't want a lame duck coach here. Fine. But we're going to tie everybody's contract for like another 2-3 years. And we're going to see what happens at that time going forward. But I understood why you'd want to let them go. At the same time, the record against playoff teams over the last few years has been brought up. The way they have lost games has been a very consistent manner under LaFleur so far. So like I can get the reasons behind why, but I was like, I think the good still outweigh the bads for him. Like it's very difficult to find a good head coach. And the things that he can do well, like his offensive scheme and Jordan Love, like it's grown together. Like it works. You know that part of the game works. His play calling, while at times can be questioned, more than not, like it's innovative. You like where he's going with it. So he's somewhere I'm like, he has to improve who's around him. I think that's of the utmost important. The assistant coaches have to be top tier. Like I think watching what Halfley did with that defense is proof of that. Of like, if you bring the right people into this building, you can make some magic happen. You're going to need that going forward. So I'm fine with it. It wasn't one of those things where I would have been upset either way, but I did lean more of like, just keep him on a short-term deal, see if he can prove something. If not, then let him go.
Yeah. And now same question, different person, Rich Bisaccia. Continue.
I think his time is up. I think but the thing is, I don't know if a new coach is going to fix the problem with special teams. Like it's been bad for decades now.
Problem. Yep.
So I don't know if, unless they're going to make some organizational changes to how they staff that unit and the priority of that unit.
Please.
Then
how would you feel?
I'm just glad I wasn't for a long time. It's like I thought I was the problem. I'm like, I keep staying. We had 7 coaches. I had all these, these moving pieces, but it is a cultural thing. Like they just don't emphasize special teams as a priority. Like the X's and O's, the players are like the pieces on those teams. So until they address that, like you can't throw any coach into that space and expect instant success.
How would you feel if it was a former kicker that would take over as a special
what do you
teams
think of that?
coordinator?
We've been throwing my name in the ring, Do you think I could handle the job up there?
Do you have the sway to be able to get them to make those organizational changes? Can you be like, listen, I know I have the personal played through data, the experience. These guys know me well enough now that like I would not go into that room and just be like, whatever y'all want to do, right? Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna be like, hey, like I don't care. You can say I'm done after a week, but I'm gonna go fight for what I think is the right move to go, what right direction to go, because I think that's missing sometimes. It's like I think Rich Bisaccia though fought for that. He has fought tooth and nail to try to get it done. And they've just it just is a pivot, and it's pretty frustrating at times. So I don't know what the answer is there, but who knows? If they want to give me a call and we'll see what happens. I'm available. I'm just hanging out, doing this radio thing for a little while.
I mean, there were calls for you to see if you still had the leg, like if you'd be willing to still kick at this point.
I know.
As Mason has said many times, like he hears the fans. He hears the people. Who he doesn't hear from? The organization. The organization has to get off their asses and actually make something happen.
Just giving numbers out to backup quarterbacks now like, come on. Just like
I stink at retirement anyway, so might as well just continue to fill my plate.
True.
Molly's gonna hate us if you get a
she does. She's listening right now. She's like, what's going on right now?
I'm sorry, Molly. No offense.
Perfect. All right. Well, Camille, thank you so much as always for jumping on. We know we can get, insight from you found nowhere else. Locked On Bucks is the podcast and all the other podcasting and work you're doing as well. Any pro wrestling? Have you been doing pro wrestling stuff?
Yeah, on Technical File. So that's a weekly show that I have. It's a longer form, it's about an hour and a half every night. We record it live on Tuesdays. We do NFL, NBA, and WWE every single week.
Did you watch?
Awesome.
Did you see Finn Balor?
Yes, the old music back.
Man, how much do you love real Finn Balor?
It's
Like,
amazing.
He's so like, and it really, yeah. All right, that's enough of that.
That's enough.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, nice,
All right.
nice.
Camille, thank you so much for jumping on today.
Appreciate you,
No
Camille.
problem, guys. Have a good one.
You
All right,
bet.
you
Follow
too.
her on Twitter at Camille Monet. Camille Davis joins us on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all.